Steve Hauck is in this morning, law enforcement expert, law enforcement dealing with media. Before we get into the bomber in Austin, who, by the way, did you saw his picture? We talked about it.
Right.
Looked like a normal,
everyday
23-year-old 23-year-old, yeah. Crazy. I want to, you're following what's going on, and Facebook is getting hammered and has been getting hammered over basically ads that have been placed and attempts to influence our elections, maybe by the Russians, not necessarily collusion, but influencing the election in one way or another, or in some cases just creating a debate between people over real core issues that divide people, race and that sort of thing. So Zuckerberg's been missing in action, nowhere to be found. You always talk about one thing: get out in front.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on the way Facebook has handled this, and Zuckerberg in particular?
That was one of the first things I thought of when it first came out, and it was essentially radio silent. You heard nothing, no comment, and actually then they reported that he and his I think it was chief operating officer, I forget her name there, but she's been with the company for a while, and they were both absent from this big meeting, and I suspect what was probably happening is they were in this massive room with dozens of employees trying to sit down and craft a way. This happens sometimes with big companies, and it happens sometimes with
little companies,
like politicians and stuff, unfortunately, is they try to craft a way as to make this seem like it's not what it really is. Mm-hmm. And they somehow aren't wrong, and it's not their fault. And usually it always ends up very bad because I think people can accept mistakes. I think when you make a mistake, we're all human beings, and you do something wrong. I think they can accept that. What they can't accept is being lied to, or being told nothing. Because when you don't speak, people are automatically coming to conclusions.
Yeah, they come up with their own answers.
Yeah. And oftentimes those conclusions are worse than what really happened.
Right. As a public official, you absolutely are obligated to do that because you're a public official. But as a private company, you have to look and say, okay, what are we doing? I think probably what happened there is their main focus, and this happens with companies, is their main focus is the stock price. It's not what's right and wrong. It's how's it going to affect the stock. So I think, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see the SEC investigate Zuckerberg because he sold billions of dollars of his stock like in the past month.
Right.
Did he know this happened and it was going to come out? And you wonder, because if he did, then he could be in trouble there. But, it's almost like, well, what's right and wrong? Forget about, whether you're going to be looked at poorly or people are going to, revolt against you a little bit. It's what's right and wrong. And that's the first thing you have to look at is, how do you handle it and be honest with people? Because ultimately the truth always comes out.
It does always come out. And I'll tell you, the silence they've lost millions in their stock values. It's really incredible.
And that's a competitive market. And let's be honest with you. Facebook sells you nothing, really.
I know.
They don't give you a product. It's not like you're they give you nothing. So they
make
their money off ads.
Advertising revenue today, but they never even used to do that. Remember, Facebook was a company that had no revenue.
Well, Twitter still has found no way to make money.
Right.
All the people that use Twitter across the world, they found no way to make money. But if you look at Facebook, their sole source of revenue is ads.
Yeah.
And now they're basically saying, oh, by the way, we sold that information so somebody could use it against.
And can I tell you something? I buy ads on Facebook for not necessarily myself, but I buy them for other people and strategically, you know what I'm saying, trying to advertise and reach a certain demographic. And I got to tell you something. It took me, on one ad, almost 2 weeks to get the ad up because it kept getting rejected. And I don't understand why. It was not controversial. I kept having to change the video, and because what's happening is they've created this algorithm that's trying to catch fake ads and bad ads. This was an innocent company just trying to do business, had no controversy whatsoever, and it kept getting rejected. And finally, I had to appeal the case. It took a week. And they came back and were, everything's perfectly fine. We apologize, and the ad was approved. So they're clearly trying, but they're not doing it with a human eye.
always been a little suspicious of because I have a personal account. I had to create one a while back when I first started the UPDs back in 2010 because they don't let you as a company create. You have to have it has to be tied to a personal email.
Yeah.
So I created it, but for that purpose only. I don't use Facebook or social media at all, other than to read it. I don't post anything. There's nothing on there, and occasionally I will go in there to look for something, and how it says people there are people in there that I went to high school with, or people that I knew 20 years ago that I haven't spoken to. I don't search them on Facebook. They've never, and somehow it pops up that I know them. How do they know this?
Yeah, gotta wonder.
It makes you wonder, how do they know so much about you?
Oh, they know.
And what are they selling?
Between Facebook and Google, wow, they have so much information on you.
Absolutely.
It's really something. All right, we'll break. I have a $500 free money question. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's not, I agree, the information is not good. Is most of it, what type of information are we talking about? Obviously, phone number, Social Security.
Habits, likes.
Yeah. I mean,
recent purchases.
The fact that I'm...
Yeah. But they're all doing it now. Go search for something on eBay, and you will continue to get emails and little ads popping up on those items. You could search for the weirdest item in the world, and it'll start popping up in your wherever you go. That's everybody. They're all doing it now.
They all do it. And I go to the grocery store, or you go to the store. This happens to me a couple times. I go buy dog food, right? You go buy dog food.
Yeah.
And, they ask for your phone number. Okay, you give them the phone number. For the next 4 days, I'm fighting telemarketers. Yeah. So finally, I went in, the next time I went in, she asked my phone number. I said, no.
Yeah.
I leave here, and you're selling somebody's. They promised us they wouldn't do that. Well, they are.
Well, do you remember this is what happened in the Oneida County clerk's race a few years ago? DePerno, and I can't remember the guy that she defeated. He was like a history teacher.
Yeah.
Alan.
Okay.
Right, and then it came to light that he had sold. It wasn't personal information like Social Security numbers and stuff like that, but it was mailing address type info.
Yeah.
And his point was every other county in the state, he was arguing, many other counties in the state do this. But I feel like a lot of this stuff is innocent. If an ad's going to pop up on my Facebook page, let it be for a Mets hat instead of bowling shoes.
Innocent. It is innocent.
To a point.
Until it isn't.
Until it isn't.
Strange.
Right.
Until it isn't. But all that they know things about you that while a Mets hat, it's not anything that's gonna. You don't have to buy it if you don't want to buy it. Don't buy it.
Right.
But it's the other stuff that's scary. How it can be used in more nefarious ways, right? That's the scary part.
When I call on my cell phone, and I think I mentioned this to you guys, if I call our business line, because that number is in several emails that exist in the building, it'll say
probably
maybe this person, maybe this person, and it's because I've never programmed into my phone that there's a link there, but it knows from sucking up my emails and processing them. That person could be working here.
We'll get to more of this. It's if you think it's making you a little uncomfortable now, wait another 10 years.
Yeah,
they're going to know everything about you, and maybe they already do.